Good evening everyone, DRBMiller here. Thank you so much for coming and joining our gaming industry news special. As you know, this particular bulletin is dedicated to the event in Mexico City, and indeed it has been a truly remarkable and wonderful one. The reason I've not been streaming tonight was to do with the event. As you know, it is a big Microsoft stroke Xbox event, and really it's been focused on all the news and ongoings in the industry, and I have to say I just couldn't believe with everything that the presenters were coming up with. So many interesting bits of news, so many exciting things are happening right now, and at the end we could certainly say that Microsoft indeed is the leader in the business. There were many things said about the Game Pass and as to why everybody should subscribe. There were some very interesting news presented, some of the latest state-of-the-art graphics. All the games were played through Xbox One X, and I have to say both graphics and sound was just really mouth-watering, mind-blowing. Everything was exactly as we expected it to be, but overall very, very exciting and well supported by everyone from the Xbox Mexico City community. As you could see, there were so many fans out there who were so excited to see the news on their favorite games, and also I think one of the most appreciative fans was the person who out of the blue was pulled out of the crowd and given a brand new Xbox One X console with a game as a reward for just standing there and cheering. So I wish it was me, and I wish that person would have been one of the members of my community. But without further ado, we are going to have a look at what's been said. I hope that some of you would have been receiving my tweets. I did follow the news very closely and indicated on my Twitter that everyone should really just simply switch on the YouTube or the console and follow all the activities in Mexico City, because they were really truly remarkable. 4 presenters, Julia Hardy and Larry and Graham and all the others, were just presenting us with so many exciting bits coming from the industry, and really one wonders what is to happen next as the developers become so competitive, and we get so many interesting games coming out at all times, and games that will provide us with great longevity, with future DLCs and bits which will always keep us occupied. So, I mean, first of all, one of the most exciting bits of news that everyone was delirious about was the piece on PUBG. We've heard early in the week from my bulletins that PUBG is going to be now playable on PlayStation 4. So, in order to contest this, Microsoft indicated today that PUBG is going to be available through Xbox Game Pass, I think as from next week. So as you could see, if you are to go to PlayStation 4, you would have to purchase the game and then play it. And if you are a subscriber to Game Pass on Xbox, you will have to purchase nothing. You will simply log in and play the game with all the other people from your PUBG community. So really quite astonishing how the competition works in the industry, and I'm delighted because obviously as a great console fan and the owner of Xbox and PlayStation, and indeed a game on PC, I like seeing games being present on all platforms so that everybody, wherever they are, can simply dive in and enjoy their favorite games. It is sometimes uncanny when you really want to be playing a game on PC and actually you cannot because it's proprietary to PlayStation or Xbox or vice versa. So just to reiterate, PUBG is coming to PlayStation 4 in December, but as from next week you can play the game on Game Pass as provided by Microsoft on Xbox One. We had some interesting graphics, and I think it was a trailer on a game which I actually could not pronounce in full due to the second word in there, which is family unfriendly, but I'll just pronounce that Void B. And it really looked beautiful, very much like a comic strip, like a graphic novel. And the development director of Bioshock is the person who created it. And you will know that Bioshock is one of the most beautiful FPS games ever produced. So this game does not look very similar. In fact, it is completely different. It did remind me a bit of Half-Life through some of the activities, as the person is going to various corridors, and I was focused on the FPS type of activity. But it very much looks like a graphic novel, you know? And it did have this very colourful, very engaging appeal, as well as a lot of action on offer. So absolutely, Void B is the game to watch out for, arriving at some point during the 2019 to Xbox One. The latest... Excuse me, I lose my voice for a moment, just bear with me. I'm so sorry, my voice suddenly was gone. The other exciting bit of news for everyone who's a hardcore Xbox gamer is on Crackdown, the brand new DLC on Crackdown 3 will come out on the 15th of February, and we are in position to view some of the gameplay and the trailer which they were presenting. It looked really exciting. We played it before on its previous installments. We'll be absolutely delighted. The date confirmed was February the 15th of 2019, and of course, as it is a proprietary game to Xbox, you will be able to access it yet again, like PUBG and all the other games, through their Game Pass. I have to say that after exploring Game Pass and seeing what games are being brought in today and recently, I really feel that it is the future of the industry. If you are a dedicated console player, and particularly if you are playing most of the games on Xbox, you will be able to at least try them and test them, even if you want to purchase them, initially on the day of their release, because their proprietary games are being released on the same day for people to purchase as a physical or digital product, or they can be accessed simply through the Game Pass. And I think that there cannot be a better way of exploring whatever is happening out there. And some of the games, like for instance PUBG, as we know, have been amongst the most popular, and you can simply log in and play them straight away wherever you are. If you take a console abroad, as you are obviously a member of a particular region, you will be able to access that region wherever you are through your console. So that is astonishing, and to be able to hear that so many games are available and easily accessible through Game Pass, and indeed those many new titles are continuously being added, it is really truly exciting, and really makes it a very cost-effective exercise for everyone who is a subscriber, and for all the other people who are likely to be just simply exploring the games and finding out for themselves whether they would purchase them at a later date. Then again, we've seen a new Battlefield 5 trailer, which looked really heavily action-packed. This was your hell breaking loose in war situation literally everywhere. The graphics looked staggering, really mouth-watering on Xbox One X, and I have to say, it just made me simply, I want to buy the game straight away. And so if you have a moment, go to my Twitter and definitely check out this wonderful trailer for Battlefield 5. We've heard also from the Xbox boss that the Xbox Adaptive Controller will be coming to 17 new markets, and those markets will also include Mexico in 2019, making it accessible for everyone. He also really re-emphasized how important the community for every single game is worldwide, and how gaming is, just as I always say here, is all about communication and connectivity. Without communication and connectivity, online gaming just doesn't have the same flavor. And by introducing new means to which people can access games, such as the Game Pass, and providing brand new high-tech gadgets like Xbox Adaptive Controller, the gaming is being introduced to many more communities and individuals worldwide. So I really applauded the effort which Microsoft is making, and I'm absolutely in awe of everything that has been achieved during not just the last few but many years since we had the pleasure of being introduced to the Xbox in the course of its first year and launch. One of the news that I really found most exciting today was, in addition to PUBG, the one on Hellblade. As you know, the very popular PC game has been loved and played by many people around the world, and the Xbox team today announced that Hellblade is, as from next week, going to be available also on the Game Pass. It looked incredible. The graphics were ultra sharp, obviously played in 4K resolution. The sound was astonishing, and really for the game like Hellblade, if you are in possession of Xbox One X, you will get also this incredible sound quality through your headphones. You will literally be able to live in that world which you're facing. And I think I mentioned a few times in my bulletins, there are some games, particularly survival games and some FPS, where you really have to be relying on the sound. Just think about Destiny, which you play every day. If you have a very high quality console and you are playing a game on that console with this fantastic spatial quality sound, you can hear the noises from the background, obviously in Dolby surround sound, and you'll be able to define where the enemy is coming from. I think for PUBG this is really important. I've played PUBG on my tablet for quite a few months. Played it on the first day of its launch, and I have very high quality headphones which were used on every single gameplay, and I could really tell where the guys were coming from, particularly if somebody was in point position and shuffling a bit and touching a few leaves or catching a branch here and there. They were detected, and then I knew exactly where I had to aim, and then they were gone. So really, Hellblade is one of those games, and I think if you are going to be wanting to play the game, then definitely subscribe to Game Pass. It will massively pay off. We've seen a beautiful trailer and some gameplay from Kingdom Hearts 3, and there was Sora, Donald and Goofy again visible, so it was the combination of the developer studio and Disney. They talked a bit about how they met and how the project was conceived, and rather than me telling you this, it's the best to review some of the clips. You'll be able to get all the information from the developer, and there's some interesting anecdotes how they got the entire project together. But the date confirmed for Kingdom Hearts 3 is January the 29th of 2019, and everybody is just very eagerly anticipating the release of that game. The third bit of very exciting news for myself was the one related to Final Fantasy 13, and it's been confirmed that it will be joining also the Xbox One X enhanced backward compatibility library, and Civilization Revolution will get an update for that 4K Shine. It will be available from this coming Tuesday. So for all of you Final Fantasy fans, do remember, as from next Tuesday, your favorite game, Final Fantasy Installment 13, will be polished up with 4K resolution. Indeed, its sound will be massively enhanced, and if you are in possession of Xbox One X, you'll be able to watch it on your beautiful 4K television set. If you have a teleset with a massive big screen, then that is going to be very highly immersive. I have to say, what I did screen today, a few clips looked absolutely gobsmacking. They were really very bright, very colourful, ultra sharp. The action seemed most immersive. I just simply loved it, and indeed I will be checking it out on Tuesday the 11th. I beg your pardon, the Tuesday the 13th of November, which is just in a few days away from us. We've heard that Ori and the Blind Forest, plus Ori and the Will of the Wisps, are also going to be added to the Xbox Game Pass. You all will remember Ori. This is a very, very beautiful game, and really Blind Forest is the game I'm particularly interested in, as it looks very much like Max Payne visually, and I love those kinds of graphic novel style adventure games. So again, the Game Pass is basically the way forward. They talked about Sea of Thieves, and they had a massive support from Mexican fans. It is a game that is very, very popular in Mexico, and I think connecting to some of the historic elements as well. People just love what they've seen, and basically the new competitive mode, the arena, has been introduced. They will be releasing the actual date very, very shortly, but on the trailer it looked highly competitive and very engaging again. But it will bring in lots of different players to compete against one another, and we simply cannot wait to see that. We've heard that Jump Force will arrive on February the 15th on Xbox One, and we did see some discussion with one of the developers. He talked about the process to which they were making some stunts, and generally the way they kind of complete the game. So for all of you who love Jump Force, February the 15th of 2019 is the date. Then we've seen that State of Decay 2 is going to be also arriving to Game Pass, and they said they're introducing some new weapons, new gear, new ways to survive, and there is going to be another update called Z Hunter. I didn't really catch the date, but I think it is going to be released very, very shortly. So again, it's just, the game looked absolutely amazing on Xbox One X, and so did Just Cause 4. It is going to be also released very, very soon, and the graphics and the discussions with one of the developer team members were really, really quite something. He was debating how they've done the action sequences and the acrobatics, and also how they wanted it to be very, very high energy from the word go, and we really did experience that through those trailers. So definitely head to my Twitter and have a look at the news, or the bits of news related to Just Cause 4. I do have the trailer and the gameplay there. What I particularly like about Microsoft is that they are spending a lot of money on charities, and they're investing quite a bit on projects that are supporting various charities in America and worldwide. So on my posting you will see that I asked everybody to examine this particular post, and I asked everyone to consider, first of all, those amongst us who need our support and help the most. People who are destitute, people who are ill, those who are suffering illness or disability. So the program which is introduced is basically a very large funding system which is going to be supporting many charities through gaming activities. As you know, Microsoft did support lots of charities and donated quite a lot of equipment to hospitals and various other facilities looking after people with some form of need, and lots of different activities will be taking place, so you can support their charitable works and investment by accessing this particular tag, which is hashtag #GiveWithXbox, and for every photo hashtag Xbox will donate $5 in Xbox products. So you can also share this particular tag and the photograph on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. And what is very important is they're asking for every gamer to take a photo which will show what gaming together means to you. So think about your co-op sessions, think about your favorite gaming communities, think about all the discussions had on Twitch and various other people on chat and Mixer and Instagram and elsewhere, and take a photo of that and then post it to Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and don't forget to tag it with hashtag Xbox or @Xbox and then hashtag GiveWithBox. It's very important because by doing so you are going to be supporting the charitable effort that Microsoft is doing, and you will be obviously connecting with the gaming community, which is also focused on supporting charities. So this is something very, very important. As you know, I'm a person who's worked in the field for many, many years, and my work is very much indeed focused on how to support charities through gaming and online activity. So please have a look at the posting and consider taking those photographs and indeed then sending them to Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Then we've heard that there were 3 more incredible games added to the family of titles on the Xbox Game Pass. There were After Charge, Supermarket Shriek and Kingdom 2 Crowns. I'm not particularly familiar with those 3 games, but certainly I am introducing them to you and advising to have a look at those trailers. They looked very, very interesting. Minecraft was another game that was greatly discussed. There was their team discussing various issues with some of the Xbox guys, and it seems to me that Minecraft is one of the most popular games around. There are millions and millions of people playing it daily worldwide, and they were also introducing a brand new DLC which is going to be released, I think, next week. Another interesting bit of news was on Devil May Cry 5. We've seen the developer discussing with one of their team members the various means to which they were enhancing graphics and action sequences, and they were also providing us with some new tools which will select different weapons and enable us to be fighting the enemies. There is one particular mode which is called Pasta mode, if I understood correctly, or I'm not sure whether this was a weapon or one section. That looked particularly exciting because the character on the screen was able to select very bizarre weaponry which then can be applied to certain sequences in the game, and it was absolutely done through the customization process. So very interesting to view, and certainly very highly anticipated when it can, when it comes out. And also I particularly liked the Tomb Raider trailers which were being screened there. They looked really, really good on Xbox One X, and they're obviously screened in 4K. The DLC will be released shortly, and it is called The Forge. So that is the Tomb Raider new DLC. And we've heard also that Pathologic 2, Secret Neighbor, The Good Life and Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden are going to be introduced to the Xbox Game Pass. So that is Pathologic 2, Secret Neighbor, The Good Life and Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden. I also very much liked the Collector's Spartan edition of Metro Exodus, which they talked about, and we've seen a short trailer or clip from the game. It just looks really incredible. You get all these interesting bits in there with CDs and collectibles and some stamps and some badges and some figurines, and really, really awesome. So have a look at the Collector's Spartan edition of Metro Exodus on my Twitter. There's a beautiful snapshot of that special edition. They talked also about partnering with Ryzen, and they are going to be producing, they're going to be customizing certain games that have mouse and keyboard access, and this is all going to be very useful for those games. If you're interested what games these may be, then please do head to Microsoft website. They have quite a lengthy description in there, and it will be very, very useful for those gamers, because I think the 15 games they talked about, they are more strategic and they are perhaps not specified on our console controllers. So that's wonderful news for those people who are in favor of those games. They talked about Forza Horizon 4, and there's going to be a brand new DLC for that game as well. ID at Xbox talked about the games that they're introducing, and we've heard also about the last 3 games that will be introduced to Xbox Game Pass, and these were MXGP3, Agents Mayhem, and Thomas Was Alone. The last bits of news we've heard was on Obsidian. Obsidian is a very well-known developer. They produce some really absolutely outstanding games, inclusive of Fallout Las Vegas, during the last decade, and they are now joining the Microsoft family. They will be working under their umbrella, and that's together with other developers such as 343 Industries, Undead, The Initiative, Playground Games, Ninja Theory, Compulsion Games, and In Exile. All of them have been announced during the E3 conference, but as you could see, Obsidian are the latest developer that is basically becoming a member of that community. So altogether, the conference in Mexico City was so full of interesting news. I think the overall emphasis was on the future of the industry, and the focus was on the Game Pass. Many people consider Game Pass to be somewhat controversial because it's similar to Netflix. You basically can select any games you want from those on offer at any given time, and you can either stream them live or you can download them, well, not all of them, but the vast majority, to your console, and then play them as long as you want for a fixed subscription price. I think Xbox team is the leader in the industry, and when I compare what is on offer presently through the same service on PlayStation, I would say they're lagging behind. They don't have backward compatibility, they don't have that many games which can be downloaded, and overall, when you're looking at the top quality titles, Xbox Game Pass does have many more of those than PlayStation. So they are really a mile ahead, I would say, and for anybody interested, well, obviously, if you wish, you can be joining both of those forums, so you can be a member of PlayStation Now as well as Xbox Game Pass, and you'll have obviously all these games easily accessible. But in terms of how Xbox team is approaching gaming, it is much more interactive. As you could see, they had their Inside of Xbox screen tonight. It was basically live coverage of that incredible event in Mexico City, and there is this element of connectivity and communication about Xbox at all times. I think that is very important. The community members will always appreciate it, and I can certainly say from my own personal experience, for many of my postings which were Xbox related, be it directly responding to the messages or just simply reposting or re-acknowledging the latest bits of news coming from Microsoft, almost for every single one I received a personalized response from the team. Well, just try to think how many people must be working there and then responding to all these messages. But the bottom line is, you feel appreciated, you feel that you're being heard, and indeed you're connecting with somebody who's representing the company. Frequently, they come with some really ingenious ideas on whatever was being said there. So that degree of communication, connectivity, is literally key for any future development within the community. And I'm very, very pleased that they are investing more and more into Game Pass, because it will become certainly almost a must for many for many different community members, as indeed it's providing them with so many different opportunities to try out different games and experience them firsthand. And indeed, if they wanted to possess them at a later stage, they can simply purchase them online and have them in the digital format. So to summarize, the entire conference and event was very, very enjoyable. There were lots of different things said which indicate that Microsoft is thriving. One of the biggest ones was obviously the inclusion of Obsidian into the family. And I was personally delighted to see that PUBG and Hellblade Hellblade was going to be available on Game Pass, and PUBG will be available on Game. I'm just actually forgetting about the fact. Both games are available on the Xbox Game Pass for next week. So that is really the most exciting bits of news for myself. But indeed, if you want to find out more about some of the other games which may be your favorites, then head to my Twitter, have a look at the postings, and you can access everything about this event through some of my posts. Indeed, you'll be able to connect with both Xbox, Microsoft, and some of the presenters in there. And you can ask questions, you can communicate, and I would just ask you to consider the one which I consider most important, and that is the posting on charitable work. And please do consider what games you would find most important, and what gaming together means to you. And you can take a photograph of that, not just one photograph, but maybe quite a few, and then those photographs can be posted to Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and you can attach a tag which is hashtag give with Xbox. So you have hashtag give with Xbox. So that's very important. You attach it to that photograph and then post it on these forums, and therefore you will be supporting all of that charitable effort which is directed at those communities and people perhaps who need our help the most. Gaming is about communication and connectivity, and we always have to consider those amongst us who are in the need, and therefore we can support them through various activities online. This is one of them, and indeed it will be providing quite a lot of revenue for the charities such as Child's Play, Gamers Outreach, OSD, and Special Effect. Each one of them is well known in the gaming community, and they are focused on raising funds for those who are in the need. So, on that note, I shall thank you all for coming, for listening to my broadcast. Indeed, I will invite you to go and check out some of my postings which are related to the conference and the activities in Mexico City tonight, and therefore you'll be able to get a wealth of information. And if you've not done so, please do also watch the episode of Inside Xbox, which was basically screened live tonight. There's so many interesting bits of information there for you. There are lots of different excerpts, and there are plenty of trailers and interesting visuals. You'll be able to get the best possible introduction to some of these games and some of the news which are coming from the industry at the moment. So, this is bringing this broadcast to a close, and I will be just saying a very good night to everyone. And I also will invite you to my Destiny broadcast, which will follow. We are going to be playing Strikes on Destiny 1 tonight, which have been so far incredibly popular. And if anybody wants to join us in co-op, or indeed just by watching, please do. And we will continue with our Destiny broadcast in about 5 minutes. I wish you all a very good gaming night.